All right, and we are live. What is up, everyone? OJ over here from Player Essence, and welcome to another Player Essence podcast. We have the EssenceCast. That is episode number 7. We're at this point, man. It's been awesome today. Been really busy, but we already had a number of topics and stuff we have a number of topics and stuff to go over for this cast. We had a great PE arena earlier today, and we also had a video that I did on the channel, so plenty of content for you guys. But we have a nice cast of characters here, and Mama Mercy was supposed to be on, but there was something that she had to do, so we've got pretty much the next best thing, all right, and that is Mama Mercy's husband. And we've got the Unbound Gamer, Skiz. He's here. Skiz, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Good, good. Thank you for filling in such short notice. I really do appreciate that. You and your family, the bloodline, you guys really help us out here. So I really do appreciate that, Skiz. I really do from the bottom of my heart. And also, next, right to my right, we have, well, not really to my right, but to Skiz's right, we have John Turner's back. Again, what's up, John?
Hi. I regret that I haven't been able to be here for all of the Essence casts, but you know how it is. But luckily, I'm not going to have a terribly busy summer, so I should be available more often. But of course, next weekend I will be away out of town on a little trip to Anime Next in Atlantic City. But I'm glad I could do this one.
Hey, it's no good. You guys do this out of the kindness of your heart. So obviously you guys have lives and you guys have stuff to do. So it's all good there. Thank you, Matt Curtin, with the dollar donation. Thank you so much. Do appreciate that, homie. Really do. Thank you. And next we have our guest out of kind of the village here, and we've got Jordan Fringe. So Jordan, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing really good, Really happy to have you here. We were talking to Jordan, and definitely Jordan. He's a great YouTuber, guys. I watch his channel all the time when I'm at the gym. You guys know I watch, Spawn Wave. I watch all those guys, but Jordan is a fantastic YouTuber. Has really great content. Make sure you guys check out his channel. In addition to all of the channels that I have here, they're all linked. See, I was actually doing some good work today, guys. All of you guys' channels and everything is already in the link in the description below.
There you go.
Yeah, so check out all of these guys, in terms of their content. John's, I put his Twitter because John is more active on Twitter. So if you ever want to talk to John, talk about anything, you can go there on Twitter. And I got Skiz's channel. Well, I actually put Mama Mercy's, but you can find Skiz's channel and Mama Mercy's channel through there. And of course, check out Jordan's channel. His channel just hit 16K, didn't you, Jordan?
Yeah, we hit that last week. We're already actually about to hit 17 here in a couple days. So it's been doing good. I'm really happy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Always good to see up and coming, YouTubers. So yeah, definitely looking at having Jordan on maybe more frequently. We've been talking about that. So definitely make sure you guys check it out if you guys like his channel. Obviously, check out my channel and vice versa. So we got a lot of great topics to go over, guys, as you guys kind of file in here. I want to say what's up to everyone here in the chat. Once again, we will have a Q&A at the end, so just hold on to those questions, or if you want something answered right away, obviously, you bring something up, we'll try to see if we can get it done. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the first topic here, guys. I think we're going to have a good podcast. Let me go ahead and click over to it. So we're going to be talking about something that I rarely ever talk about on my channel too much, unless it starts with Lost and ends with Odyssey. But since Microsoft doesn't do that, or if it starts with Blue and ends with Dragon, but Microsoft doesn't really play that anymore. And you guys know we're talking about Xbox at E3. There's been some leaks with some of the stuff that they're going to be doing. Some rumors and kind of some stuff going on here. And I wanted to break down some of the information first, and then we'll kind of go one by one to what people think. I don't know if we have any huge Xbox fans either in the chat or here right now. And I know, Jordan, you're like a Nintendo and PlayStation more so than anything. And yeah, okay. Because I know you do like Spyro, and it's like you like the old school Spyros and Crash and stuff like that. So yeah. So and I don't know, Skiz, you're not really Xbox either, are you?
I'm not a fan, no.
And John, I know you're not. So I was, guys.
Nah, Xbox doesn't really do much for me.
Well, we're talking about some Xbox right now. So I was actually a fan of the Xbox back in the day. Yo, shout outs. Got a Toby Blaster. This man is blasting us before we can even get into our first topic. Let's go. Toby Blaster, thank you so much. Theory Tiger hit us a $15 donation. Big donation, thank you so much. He says, one last hype week to go. Soon. So shout out to that. Thank you so much for the comment. Appreciate that, Fairy Tiger. My boy's always hooking us up. Thank you. Appreciate that, man, from all of us here at the village. So we're going to get into this, guys. So Gears of War 5, new Assassin's Creed, which has already been confirmed, Just Cause 4, and more. So here are some of the expectations that people are saying in terms of rumors. And Gears of War 5 is one. But not only Gears of War 5, but like 2 other Gears of War games, like a RTS and something else. Also, Just Cause 2, that's also going to be a big one as well. And Forza Horizon, apparently that might be coming. A new Fable is rumored as well, and a new Splinter Cell. So all of these could be shown off at Microsoft's conference. Maybe even Splinter Cell being some type of exclusive content, because if you guys remember, Splinter Cell was really associated with the Xbox brand back in the day. So maybe something's even going down there. And then also the biggest one here is Perfect Dark. That's probably the biggest one that maybe a lot of us know about, on this, because Perfect Dark, of course, Rare, back on the N64, that's where it started out after GoldenEye. So, in terms of all this stuff here, before we kind of break things down a little bit more, Jordan, man, what are your thoughts on some of these rumors here? Are you interested in any of these franchises when it comes to Xbox?
Oh man, this is so I love talking about how Xbox really needs something here, because like all their exclusives have either came out and didn't do well, or there's just nothing coming out besides now Crackdown 3, which is delayed again. So great, there has to be something there to really push this system, and obviously a Gears game is going to do it. I liked Gears of War 4. I thought it was a good game. I think a Gears 5 is smart. It'll time itself for release next year, which would make sense. As far as the other 2 games, an RTS, I'm thinking that other one, some Battle Royale mode at this point, just put it in everything, make it work, because people will play it. The Gears fans will give it a try, and I'm sure it'll be popular for a couple months, and then they'll move on to whatever, the hit game of the month is. As far as the other stuff, Assassin's Creed, they kind of had to force their hand to play, because all their stuff gets leaked every single year.
Ubi leak.
Ubi leak. And it's a double-edged sword with the name like Odyssey, because one, I don't like the name, because it's like, well, Mario Odyssey just came out. I'm just like, why does everything got to have a same name? But two, I like it because of Homer's Odyssey, and it takes place in Greece. So based off that book and then all the stuff you're going to be able to do in that area, I like that. But I'm not sold on the name Odyssey. I would have chosen another name. So that's cool. Splinter Cell could be a timed exclusive, like similar to how they did with Tomb Raider for a year, which could be possible. I don't think they want to completely hold it as an exclusive. I know Ubisoft's going to want to push that one out there as much as possible. So maybe a timed exclusive. As far as everything else, we're going to get a Forza Horizon 3. It's every other year. Forza Horizon, regular Forza, go back and forth. So we'll see. Perfect Dark, I'm really hoping for something here, because the last Perfect Dark, obviously, bad taste, really bad game. I really hated my experience playing that, and I love the original one. So if they're going to do it, I think I would have hoped they've learned their lesson in terms of making an actual great game like with this, and letting Rare, or is it Rare who's actually developing it, I'm guessing?
The teasing that's going on was from Rare. So Rare was teasing it on Twitter about potentially having a Perfect Dark. So yeah, I mean, I think it would be Rare. I mean, but they've got 15 years since the last one to really kind of straighten things out. So,
I sure hope they've figured it out. I hope Xbox or Microsoft just kind of let them do their thing and didn't micromanage everything about it and tear it apart. I really hope that it's a solid experience if it is a real thing. That'd be great for Microsoft.
Definitely, and I have to say that you're actually looking quite spiffy with some those glasses on, man. Seriously.
Oh,
looking
thanks.
Great.
I got a good tip from this one YouTuber. He's a really good guy, actually.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So shout outs, man. No, but to be honest, guys, just as a little general warning, and I care about all of you guys, if you're looking at computer screens all day and stuff like that, get something for your eyes. Trust me. You don't want your eyes to go out, because, guys, I swear I thought I had a Sharingan. My eye almost went out. I swear my eye started bleeding the other day. So just a little tip, guys. It's not to be cool or anything. Just a little tip, just letting you guys know, because a lot of you guys have actually came DM'd me and talked to me like, hey, like, I got a little eye twitch. Should I get them? I'm like, yes. Get them. Get them. Have your eyes for later in life, guys. Have your eyes, because
I saw you talking about that in the other, I don't know if was it in the other stream you were talking about it, right?
Yeah, stream.
And I was listening to that, and you were saying about the eye twitch, and I was like, crap, I've actually been dealing with that a lot. I've been doing it without realizing it, and I'm like, okay, I am having an eye twitch. That would make sense of all these screens. So I just got them in today, and so far I've had any eye twitching today. Yeah. So that's better. I'll take that.
It reduces it greatly. I was having about 100 eye twitches a day, and now it's down to about maybe 10 or so. So
that's great.
Yeah, man, a lot better. So let's see, John. I know you're not big on Xbox and all that, but is there anything that you kind of maybe looking forward to what Microsoft will be doing?
No, I can't really say. I really can't say that there is, because honestly, I just never really got into Xbox. Okay. I mean, I respect anybody who is an Xbox fan, but they just don't really do it that much for me.
Okay. Well, yeah, you got nothing, no problem there. Well, what about you, Skiz, Unbound Gamer, also as well? What do you think about this, man?
It's hard to say. Like, I used to play Xbox a lot. I got away from it. Then they killed the only two games that I was looking forward to. Scalebound, and then they got rid of Lionhead. So, but now there's a chance of a Fable coming back. Mm-hmm. I don't think I'll invest in an Xbox anytime soon, but there's a couple of games here. Perfect Dark for sure. And then the chance of another Fable game coming out. Hopefully they bring it to PC, and then I don't have to buy an Xbox.
Yeah, you know what? And that's the thing. I was just about to say that. Like, I think a lot of these games might come to PC too.
Yeah, because they're doing the Play Anywhere program, so most of their Xbox games are also coming to PC.
Yep, exactly. And shout outs. We do have a brand new sponsor. Sponsor hype during the actual stream. Let's go. Hitting us with that Mankiku Sharingan. He must have heard how my eye was hurting. This is my Sharingan. So he was like, all right, let me get in on this. Let me get my own. Shout outs to Triforce J. Hopefully you enjoy your emotes, my guy. Do appreciate the sponsorship. Obviously, hit me up on Twitter. We want to get into PE Arena and our exclusive Discord. So thank you so much. And guys, if you got that Sharingan emote, that Mankiku Sharingan emote, make sure you spam it for my boy Triforce J. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate the sponsor. Really do, man. Like I said, my Twitter information, link in the description below. Just hit me up on Twitter so we can get you in on PE Arena, because today's PE Arena was lit, man. G5 was destroying us in Pokken. It was so much fun. So much fun to get destroyed by G5 in Pokken. So shout outs, man.
G5 destroys everyone in Pokken.
Yeah, he's really good in Pokken, but then again, he uses Mewtwo, so
yeah, if you play the most powerful character, you're gonna win. Yeah.
He did 2 combos on me one time, and I was almost dead with Lucario. I was like, and he was like, "Oh, well, my attack is maxed out." I'm like, "No, I put the skills to where it doesn't matter. Like everyone's just even. It's just normal." He's like, "Oh." He didn't even realize. He thought that his attack was boosted so much. No, Mewtwo's just that powerful.
It's just that Mewtwo's that overpowered in that game.
Yeah, Mewtwo is so good in that game. Anyway, but shout outs to G5. All right, so for me personally, man, I mean, I think the biggest thing on this list for me is kind of like Skid says. Like, I want Fable and I want Perfect Dark. Those are the 2 games that I really want. Fable is actually one of the main reasons why I got into the Xbox franchise. Fable, Halo, but Fable was really that franchise that I was like, this is the single player RPG is really good. And then in each iteration of Fable, it got worse and worse. Each time they said, let's do Fable, it somehow got worse. Literally, it went from really good to really bad really fast. It didn't take long.
As bad as 3 is, I didn't even touch on Fable. I completely forgot. But I love Fable. I even really like 2. I mean, it wasn't 1, but I thought 2 was still a lot of fun.
I did like 2.
The 3rd game, it took it to where they added too much dumb things, too many dumb things, consistently. And your pause menu is a whole world that you go into, and it takes so much time to do anything in that game. But there's some charm about it that I love how bad it is. It's still I like the story, but I also love how bad everything else around the story is. So I've been wanting a Fable. I understand why there hasn't been one, but if one does come out, I probably wouldn't even get it on the Xbox. I'd just get it on the PC at this point. If that's coming out,
if it comes to both, yeah. If it is, yeah. Remember, this is all rumors, guys. Although the Fable rumor is pretty highly. I mean, there's been some pretty convincing leaks with Fable. So it's supposed to be developed by the people who do Forza. They're going to be working.
Really?
They're going to be working on this one. The Playground team or whatever it is. They're going to be working on. Wow. That's the rumor. So we'll see if it happens at E3. I don't know if it will or it won't. Whatever the case is, either way, I'm excited to see another Fable because Fable's awesome. But Fable 3, that's when I just straight up G-tab. I just threw that freaking game out of the window, man. I was like, I wasn't having it. I wasn't having it with
Why
Fable.
does everyone hate Fable 3? I want an honest answer, because I personally really enjoyed it. So did Mercy, and we actually still play it together up until we got rid of our Xbox about a year ago.
I dislike how micromanagey it is. Like, that's the thing that I really dislike about it. How kind of and like how like the focus is just. It just seems like the focus is not kind of where maybe because it's so different and not like Fable 1, and then even like Fable 2. There's just a lot of things that I just feel that like they could have done better in the game. I'm not hating on anybody who does like Fable 3. Don't get me wrong. I think Fable 3 is one of those games that where you can find a lot of enjoyment out of it. But I just feel like it just got easier and easier and easier, you know, and they kind of took the soul out of what Fable 1 was supposed to be, or what Peter Molyneux said Fable 1 would be. It seems like they completely was like, instead of like trying to build towards what Fable 1 was actually going to be, they just said, well, let's just skip it and let's just do something completely different, you know, and let's just. But like he never delivered on all his promises that Fable 1, and I thought that that's what you're supposed to do, right? Like if something doesn't make it into one game, it makes it into the next game, and it makes it into the next game, and that's not what they did with Fable. It seems like they're like, okay, well some things might make it, but then other things don't. And then Fable 3 was just like, okay, well screw everything that we said, let's just do this, you know. So that I think that was my issue. I was expecting a build up to what Fable 1 was ultimately supposed to be based on what Peter Molyneux said, and that never came out to be true, you know. So
but you can't ever believe anything that Peter Molyneux
I was
says.
just gonna say,
Yeah.
I've learned to never believe him. Remember that weird Connect game where you follow a kid around that just never came out?
Milo.
And it was really weird? Yeah, that never happened. And then every time he promised, Fable 3 is coming out. This is going to be the most incredible experience of your life. It's going to change everything. And no, it was just more Fable. It really didn't push any boundaries, in my opinion. It was just.
Did either of you play it on the Connect?
Fable? I played Fable The Journey on Connect, and I
didn't play that.
I hated it.
Yeah, it was garbage. I was gonna say, let's not hate on 3. Let's hate on Journey.
Yeah. Oh no, Fable 3 makes it. Man, Fable 3 is like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 compared to Fable Journey. Like, yeah, man. So, I mean, it is what it is. There, I guess. I mean, we'll see what happens, right? We'll see what happens. I think that Microsoft. Just to kind of go around before we end this whole Microsoft talk, do you guys feel that Microsoft, because like I've been hearing this, like, do you guys feel that Microsoft has like something to prove? Like this has to be their E3. I mean, what do you guys feel about that?
They're dead in the water, I think.
Mm-hmm. Jordan?
I think with how last year went, I actually liked Microsoft's conference better than Sony's. I think Sony's kind of jumped the shark with how they presented things. So I was like, Microsoft had a more consistent one, but it wasn't mind-blowing. Like they didn't do anything special. It was just a better conference. This year, knowing what Sony's ready to bring out, knowing what Nintendo's ready to bring out, they have to come hard with saying, hey, there's actual games coming out. We have big stuff planned. Here's some incredible surprises, and not just talk about hardware specs. Like we're releasing the Scorpio 2. It's going to have the best processor. We're going to talk about how we made it and dreamt of this in our sleep. They need to bring the facts. They need to bring the games, and they need to make it exciting for gamers to want to play on their system. And I think if they do that, they hit the right notes, they bring the right games, I think they're going to have a great conference. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Okay, definitely. Well, we'll see what happens at E3 when it comes to Microsoft. And of course, next week, we will be doing a more of an E3 breakdown. We'll have a nice big podcast for you guys. And Jordan is actually going to be going to E3 this year. So shout outs to Jordan there. You want to tell people a little bit like how you kind of got in and what happened there?
So I actually have a media pass through other work that I do here on YouTube, other channels that I work with and edit for and do all that. So I'll be going there and covering first and foremost all the Spyro stuff, because that's my main thing, and then Nintendo stuff, and then as much as I can, really. I know there's some good media time, but I'm going there to just cover everything that interests me and all the biggest exciting stuff. So it's going to be really fun. Going to be vlogging and news stuff. Going to be consistently making videos nonstop for that whole week I'm there. So it'll be really exciting. I'm really this is the most exciting thing like I've ever done, because I've always, as a kid, I wanted to go to E3, you know, and like now going as like media and like and it's such a incredible experience. Like this is like probably the most exciting thing like that has ever happened to me. Like I've never been this excited about doing an event or going to a convention or anything before. So I'm really excited.
Awesome, man. Well, we're happy for you.
Well, I hope you have a great time over there.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's June 12th through 14th, right?
Yeah.
But you're heading off there next week to go like get a hotel, I'm guessing,
Yeah, so I'm getting there. Actually, no, I'm getting there Sunday next week, so I may actually be able to join the stream
Oh
next
well, I
week.
mean, you might want to rest
Yeah.
up. I mean, you might. I mean, like I'm not gonna tell you to come on, dude. You might want to rest up for E3 because I've been there. I went 3 years in a row, and I mean, if you're traveling, are you traveling from the East Coast to the West? Is it cross country?
Oh yeah, Maryland to California.
Yeah, I mean, you probably want to rest up, man. I mean, rest your eyes, rest everything, because when you get to E3, there's gonna be a bunch of bums in front of you. You're gonna be waiting in lines and everything. I'm not gonna tell you to, to come on for that. Just relax and enjoy that, and you can come, like, when you come back, you can tell us about your experiences and everything. So yeah, man. Sounds good. Sounds good. So hopefully, and I can DM you with some stuff if you want to know, because I went 3 years in a row. So if you have any questions, like,
Yeah,
you're going as a one-man team, or are you going there working with other people, or?
It's gonna be me and one other person mainly. There's gonna be times where we separate. Like obviously at the beginning, he's gonna go do Nintendo, and I'm gonna go right to Activision for anything Spyro. But then after that, we're gonna be together for the rest of the events. So
okay, that's cool. That's good. At least you got somebody that you can go with. I was there by myself, looking like a bum. All right,
I'd be too scared.
Well, I mean, I literally live like E3 is like down the street that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's pretty close. I'll be honest. It's like a drive away. It's an hour and a half. And without traffic, I can get to Los Angeles there. If there was no traffic, it's like an hour, 10 minutes.
Are you going this year?
I'm not going this year. Not going this year. But I went 3 years in a row. But it's really close. So for me, it's not like a big deal. Like when I go to eat, like, there was actually one time that I went there, drove back home, then went again the next day. You know, like that's how close it is. You know, for me. So I don't live very far from Los Angeles. You know, I live in Central California, which is really close. We just take the Grapevine, and then there's Magic Mountain all of a sudden, and then you're in Valencia, then you're in Los Angeles out of nowhere. You know, then all of a sudden you start seeing Lakers stuff and everything. Everything turns purple and gold, you know, once you get into there. So, man. Yeah, man. All right.
The whole city's purple and gold. So
what's up?
The whole city's purple and gold.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's super Lakers there.
I grew up there, so like it is. I understand.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
But real quick, before we move on from Xbox, because I forgot that, because it's not announced, it was just kind of out there as part of a separate leak, I think, that's going to get probably a huge cult following. Maybe not super hype, but the cult following is the Sunset Overdrive 2.
Yeah, that was a rumor that kind of came up, but it was hard for me to believe it. Just because it's like Sunset Overdrive 1, I know they weren't really happy with that game in terms of like performance sales wise. So I was like, Sunset Overdrive 2. I mean, if it happens, great. I mean, I don't like Sunset Overdrive. I tried to like it, and I don't like it. So
like I didn't like it. I played it once. I couldn't stand the game, and then I came back to it later and really kind of enjoyed the more comic style of it. But I think that one of the big things is that one of the big things about it is that it built itself a cult following when it stopped being like nobody else liked it. Suddenly everybody liked it.
Yeah, it was. I got
know
the game.
Developers. Sorry, I know the developers already had started on a 2 when it was pushed down. So I'm kind of wondering if that huge cult following that came afterwards got the funding to start back up the development again.
I mean, it could.
I ended up getting the game about a year after it came out, because that's when I got my Xbox One, and I actually really enjoyed it because I do like Insomniac's work, but the thing is like they would completely have to change developers then, because Insomniac's been working on Spider-Man. I doubt they've put any extra time into this unless they've changed, Microsoft changed developers. And I remember Insomniac wasn't too keen on working on an exclusive again after Sunset Overdrive. But then they of course went back to Sony and did Spider-Man, but they just weren't happy with how the whole process of Sunset Overdrive was with Microsoft.
But the problem I agree with you there. I mean, I think Insomniac is very much like they're kind of like, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that they're as good as Platinum Games, but they remind me of like a Western Platinum Games, really big independent studio that's just hired out by companies to make, triple A or bigger games, whether it be with Microsoft or whether it be with Sony or whatever the case is. I mean, this is something that, that Insomniac does. So while they might not be so keen on it, I'm not sure if they're gonna like not take the paychecks to keep the lights on and keep the keep everybody paid, you know?
Sure.
Because
Yeah.
they don't have that overlord that, you know, that's paying that pays for everything. They are an indie studio, believe it or not, guys. I know that sounds weird, but Insomniac is an indie studio. So I mean, I think if Microsoft's going to cut the checks for them, and I know that they love Sunset Overdrive, they do love that game, you know. So I'm not sure if they turned down the opportunity to work on it, if they could, if this is true, you know. But we'll have to wait and see. Because I know what you were saying. Like Platinum Games, they had a recent interview where they were saying the same things, the same sentiments that you were talking about. You know, like working with other developers, not owning anything. You know, not owning your own IP, like that type of stuff. You know, it's frustrating for them.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens. And the chat does not care about what we're talking about. They are talking about all sorts of other stuff. They just do not care. Awesome.
Yeah, I just started seeing like N64 and stuff pop up. I'm like, all right, I guess we're moving on then.
Yeah, all right. So we're gonna move on to something that I think that you guys might care about, and that is the big Nintendo Switch leak that went down. Which I don't even think it's that big. I just think that it finally just came out. There's a lot more, in my opinion. There's gonna be a lot more, but pretty much the main games from this leak that people know about. There's one, the Killer Queen Black or whatever. We're not gonna talk about that too much because we don't know what it is outside of maybe like an arcade game or something like that. But the big one was Dragon Ball Fighter Z for the Switch. This is all for the Switch. Dragon Ball Fighter Z, Fortnite, Paladins, and Overcooked 2. So those were the new games being announced that haven't been revealed at this point. So I guess I'll go ahead and I'll start with John, because I know, John, you haven't been talking too much. So we'll go ahead and start with you, man. John, what do you think about this leak? I know you said you felt it was a bit iffy. So what do you think is true? What do you think is not true? What are your thoughts on the different games here? And are you interested in any of these games, John?
Well, first of all, if there's anything that I've learned over the years, it's to be very, very skeptical about any leak in general, because a lot of them can turn out to be very, very sketchy and not very believable. I do think some parts of the newest one might be plausible, though. I do remember that Namco said they wanted to bring over Dragon Ball Fighter Z, or is it Fighters? I don't know how it's pronounced.
Dragon Ball Fighters Z.
Okay, Fighter Z. I do remember them saying that they were interested in bringing it over if Xenoverse 2 has performed well. And now here we are about 1 year later, and Xenoverse 2 has performed extremely well on Switch, and now they're bringing it. So yeah, I could definitely see them doing it. As far as Monster Hunter Generations is concerned, I'm very, very happy to see Capcom finally releasing their first and only, so far, Monster Hunter game stateside, because a lot of people have really been requesting for that ever since day one, and now I'm glad that Capcom is finally caving into that. As far as some of the other titles that they've mentioned, I don't know. I have to honestly wait and see. But honestly, those games that were mentioned, I'm not as interested in. I'm more interested in what else they're going to be showing right over there, and I'm looking forward to what else they'll be showing over at the show. But if Nintendo were to get a lot of those games that the leak is promising, I think that would be a very good win, because in my opinion, the more games, the better.
Yeah, definitely. All right, sounds good. So, Jordan, what are your thoughts, man, on this leak so far? What do you think about it? Is there any games that are hyped for you?
I wouldn't say like super hyped for anything. I'm not a big fighting game player. I'm good. The only one I'm good at is Pokken, because it's Pokemon and I actually invested time to that. I'm just not good at other fighters. Probably my own fault because I don't play a lot. But I've heard Fighter Z is incredible and everyone talks about it. They love it, and that's a good thing to put on the Switch. It's going to sell.
Real quick, sorry to interrupt you. My bad, guys, on the pronunciation. It's Dragon Ball Fighters. Just Dragon Ball Fighters. It's with the S, but it's a bit more edgy. That's what Andy hit us with the 20 N. Okay, so there's not the Z there. It's just Dragon Ball Fighters, like Fighters or Fighters.
I didn't know he had to be edgy with it. Fighters.
Yeah, just Fighters. Dragon Ball Fighters, and then like the Z is just supposed to be. I think it's more of a marketing type of deal, because like Dragon Ball Z,
Yeah.
So yeah, but anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's all good. Yeah, so I think I think Fighters is good to bring out. I think it's going to sell extremely well on the Switch. Everyone who has it on another console will probably rebuy it. Fortnite, it's a no-brainer. I mean, we all knew about it, even though they were all like, "No, we're not doing it. We're not worried about the Switch yet." Of course you were. You want, for how many Switches have sold? It's stupid not to put anything Fortnite on it. So getting the battle royale or the full game or whatever on the Switch, easy money. As far as that, Paladins, not too familiar with. I know it's like an Overwatch type game. What else? Overcooked 2. Overcooked sold pretty well, I assumed, right?
Yeah, Nintendo actually put it in their financial report, so that game is like nearing 1 million on Switch. It's upward
Jeez.
towards 1 million on Switch by itself,
No
not like
brainer.
total, but like it's going towards 1 million. So Nintendo actually mentioned it in their to Japanese investors about this this smaller indie game. So yeah, it's selling
Make a
really well.
second now. Yeah, no,
I bet
absolutely.
that's what Team 17 they were like, make another one, go.
When I was at PAX West, I was actually talking with one of the managers at that company. He was telling me about how excited he was for Overcooked to come to the Switch back in August or September of last year. So I'm really glad that one did pretty well. I mean, to get a sequel, I mean, that's great. I'm sure we'll get a 3 if 2 sells really well next year, you know? What else was there? There was, what was the other big one? What am I dropping?
No, you actually got everything. You hit on the Dragon Ball. You also hit on Paladins. You talked about that. You talked about
Monster Hunter. So
that wasn't a leak though. That wasn't.
Yeah.
We already knew about that.
My opinion on this, like at first, I was like, why are they bringing this Monster Hunter over when Worlds is breaking numbers and it's selling well? And then I thought about it, I'm like, well, that's such a heavily based online game that it's not ready for the Switch. So maybe once the online service comes out and a lot of it, you start playing a lot more online games. Like if Smash Bros is great and the online services are fantastic and everything's running well, then maybe next year we get Worlds finally brought over to the Switch. But my first thought was like, why not Worlds? Why bring this one when Worlds is popping right now? But then I thought about it and it does make sense to bring this. So that was just my thought on that. I wanted to bring up, but yeah, I mean the list. I see it as real. I think everything on here is just a no-brainer at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Skiz, you got any thoughts on this list and what you think, or anything that you're super hyped about?
Well, I mean, when I first saw it, like, it's super believable. There's nothing on here that's completely crazy, so that kind of makes it. We knew Fortnite was going to be coming eventually, with Mario Aces showing up on there, Overcooked 2. I kind of expected that to be coming out. The one, like, all of these are pretty known, Fortnite, Dragon Ball FighterZ or Fighters, Monster Hunter, FIFA. Like, all right, those were all obvious. And I know you kind of said we weren't really going to really touch on it because it's not a big thing, or you're not aware of what it is.
Yeah. Do you know what it is? If you want to talk about it, go
Black,
ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Killer Queen Black is an arcade game, but it's a huge multiplayer, like 10 people arcade game on the East. I'm actually surprised because I think Jordan, you said Maine, right?
Maryland.
Maryland. Okay. But like I know that it's huge in arcades on the East. There's one here close to me. It's about an hour and a half away. That has the actual arcade game, but it's a huge multiplayer, 2 5-man teams that battle against each other to build a structure and rescue, like a queen or some type of patriarch, and whoever rescues that wins the game. So I think I'm kind of hyped for it because it's gonna be an online. It's gonna have to be used with the online service to work.
That sounds pretty interesting the way you describe. I know nothing about the game, so that sounds pretty cool.
I'm looking at the game and I'm thinking like it's like a pixel type of game, right?
Yeah, it is
pixelated like type of game. Just to give you guys a little bit of I guess I'm gonna put up an image. You guys won't be able to see it unless you guys go on the. So if you guys want to check this out, I know Skiz has already seen it, but if you guys want to look at the actual video of this, you guys can. But I will put up an image because everyone's been asking me what is this Killer Queen, whatever. And whenever they brought up an image of it, like on online, they thought that this couldn't be it. Maybe it's just something else. But apparently, it's something that looks like this, guys. So. Pretty cool stuff that we can see. People who are watching the podcast, you guys can see it right now. So apparently, this is what Killer Queen Black is. It's a multiplayer type of game. Different. You can have arcades, I guess, connected to each other. It is, and like you can play against people that way as well. Like a bunch of people can play on each side of like the of the game of the. Okay, so
if you've ever seen the Mario Kart arcade, have you guys seen that? Where it's a bunch of different arcade games. Killer Queen Black has the same type of setup where it's 10 arcade machines set up facing each other, and you compete against each other.
Okay. So I'm gonna put up another one of what you just said, like so like the arcades kind of facing each other. So like it would also look like this, guys. So it would be something like this as well. So you get like a bunch of arcades. So apparently, I mean, obviously it would be like you have a bunch of Nintendo Switches or online play, and you guys all kind of play there. As you can see, there's multiple joysticks per arcade cabinet. So multiple people can play, and I guess you have to fight against the other team. And like, can you explain the type of game, like in terms of like what's the con or the premise and what you do in the game?
Yeah, I mean it's a build and destroy. So like you create structures to climb to the top. You can see that on that image that there's a bunch of different platforms that you have to move through, and your team uses different structures to climb to reach the next. You can also like, for lack of a better term, destroy enemies by shoving them off platforms and they fall. And the main goal is to reach the top of this where there is the quote unquote Black Queen, and that's what you're after. And whoever reaches it first with their full team, they acquire the queen, and that's victory on that side.
Okay. Is it fun?
I like it. I've played I've played a different version of it. I haven't got to play the arcade cabinet version of it. But I did play a version of it where it was me. It's like one player and AI, essentially. So I think it would be a lot more fun with other players. I still enjoyed the AI version of it, but obviously AI is pre-programmed, so you kind of have a system that they go with. But I think it's fun, and I think it's going to be, if people can get into it, if they can find a way to show interest in it or get interest in it, I think it's going to be a really big seller with the market that we have right now.
Got it. Okay. Well, sounds interesting. Definitely sounds interesting. On that, so did anybody else want to add anything to that, or?
Well, before we continue, I just want to add something about Monster Hunter World potentially being on Switch. Lately, I've been seeing some comments on some of the videos from some people saying, dude, this game is not coming to Switch. It can't be done on Switch. And I want to say, guys, please don't try to discourage anybody from trying to hope for this game on Switch. We don't know for sure whether it'll be on Switch. It may be on Switch. It may not be on Switch. But either way, please don't try to discourage other people wanting to have the game on Switch or any game on Switch. It's very disrespectful, and it's very rude, and it's no fun to bring anybody down. So please, let's all try to get along.
You don't have to listen to people like that. So, I mean, and people are going to say whatever they want. You know, I had a guy, on my chat the other day, oh, you only have 40,000 subscribers. And I looked at his channel. Bruh, this dude had like 2. So, I mean, like, people are just going to say whatever they want, no matter what place that they're in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, dude, that hit a point for me right there.
Now, I understand. It's just that I don't like seeing people get into fights over these things.
People are going to say whatever they want. Doesn't mean it's actual truth. Remember, guys, Mega Man Legacy Collection wasn't supposed to come to Switch, and people complain about that. Like, a million people say all sorts of stuff. So, I mean, I would just wait for whatever happens. But I mean, like, if people are going to say stuff like that, I just ignore that. Don't worry about people saying stuff like that. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to
real quick off what you were saying, OJ. We were streaming the other day when you came and raided me, which thank you, by the way.
No problem.
At about probably halfway through that, we had a guy come in who was like, "Why is such a small channel showing up in my recommended? Did YouTube have an aneurysm and start promoting smaller channels?"
What?
I was
wow.
I don't know. Did you have one when you took the same name as 16 other people on YouTube?
See, and that's what I'm saying. Like, people are just gonna come. People are gonna try to hate. People are gonna try to say whatever you want or whatever they want. But half the time, these are people that are living at home. You know what I'm saying? They got nothing better to do. They're kind of losers. So just don't worry about that. Not saying that people that say if something's not coming, but there's a lot of people that just like to hate on things. That's my point. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about that and just move on. So I got one thing that I want to say though. Agent C. My boy Agent C donated $5, and he says, based on the leak, it's pretty standard. If Fortnite comes to Switch, hopefully it's cross-platform play. Mostly play it with friends from work and my boss, but we'll see what happens E3 next week. So, yeah, I think Fortnite's pretty much a go.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think Fortnite's pretty much a go. Yeah, it's a pretty standard leak, but yeah. Yeah, I think it would be cross-platform play. I mean, at least it would be cross-platform with the PC, mobile, and Xbox.
Are the other versions cross-platform? I don't play Fortnite, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. Fortnite on Xbox, PC, mobile, those can all play, but you can't play with PS4. However, if you're on PC, you can play with PS4. So it's crossplay with everything but PS4.
Kind of. Yeah, it's kind of. It's like some can do it and then the others can do it by themselves, but I don't know why PlayStation just won't play nice with everyone.
They just don't want to do it.
Like, I remember it's the same thing with Rocket League. Everyone was like, "Yeah, you can play Rocket League with anyone," and Sony was like, "Nah, we had it first. Well, nah, we won't." I was like, "Oh, well, okay, that sucks."
I don't remember what game it was that accidentally turned on crossplay for PlayStation, and they got in touch with them and told them to shut it down.
Yeah, I forgot what game it was too, but yeah, it was accidentally turned on. Let me see if I can find out what game that was.
Because they had a picture of like, this guy's on PlayStation, this guy's on Xbox, I'm on PC, and here we all are together.
Why can't
yeah, it was in Fortnite.
Was it Fortnite? I
Yeah.
just remember they stopped that I mean, like within an hour of that picture, they were like, "Shut it down."
Yeah, like they were all going panicking. Those on fire, like over there on the Sony side. Like, yeah, Epic accidentally allows Xbox and PS4 crossplay in Fortnite, then disables it. So that was like September last year, so it was a bit ago. But yeah,
I see it. The chat knew the second I said that. Fortnite.
Yeah, okay, everyone said Fortnite. Yeah, because they were probably all playing. All of a sudden, a PSN dude pops into their game like, "Hey, I'm here. What's going on?" Right, and then all of a sudden they just disappear. They get just I don't feel so good. Just vanquished
that whole Epic got bodied for that. I was kind of surprised there wasn't some type of like attempted suit for them doing that. Like, now they know it can happen. Stop it.
Well, it's literally like a press of a button. It's not even like a.
Yeah,
from what I understand, you got indie developers. You got small. I mean, what was it? The Crazy Justice guys? It's like two people. And they're like, oh, we got crossplay. It's not hard. Like, crossplay isn't like a hard thing to do.
They just have to accept the connection to the network, and apparently Sony forgot to tell them not to do that. I don't know.
somebody was drinking like
somebody forgot.
Yeah, they just like hit the button like the Homer Simpson. Like,
they just leaned on it.
Well, I'll solve this when it's a problem.
Yeah, they just accidentally pressed it. Pressed the
Epic
button.
just wanted to show that it was possible. They're like, look, it can happen. Everyone go yell at Sony now.
Well, you guys know what happens, right? Like with the whole when developers try to act like something isn't like easy to do. Like, remember the whole Microsoft at E3 2013? We can't just flip the switch and turn everything back, and then like the next day, they like
then they were like, we flipped the switch and everything's back to normal.
Next day, we flipped the switch. So yeah, man, it was the Angry Joe interview where he's like, we can't, and what was it? Major Nelson was like, we can't just flip a switch, Angry Joe, and then like they flipped the switch.
But there is a switch flipped, and like you even saw it with Sony, like when they were both announcing and showing off the consoles, and when they came out with that, like, how do you share a game with your friends on PlayStation? And it's just that video of him handing the game. They shot that backstage, waiting to see what Microsoft was going to say, and they were fully ready to be like, yeah, you can't share games, but they're like, okay, take that feature out, and then just here, you share games like this. See, he has this game now too. And it's so easy.
It's very interesting that you brought that up, because I think that Sony was literally, they had two conferences in mind. Like, they literally had two conferences planned, because remember they delayed their conference. They delayed it a 30 minutes to an hour. It was
an hour, yeah.
An hour delay. So they were literally changing everything before to do that.
It harkens back to like the first E3 where they heard about what was it? Sega Saturn, and they just go up on stage. No script, just $2.99, and walks us. Conference over. Yeah, like that's it. Like boom, that's all you had to do. Like Sony knows how to, when there's something like that, there's actual competition. They know how to bring just the hype and the fun.
They know how to flip the switch. They know how to flip the switch.
They had a lot of the same ideas that Microsoft had, as far as like online always and no game sharing. And then they watched the reaction to that and were like, all right, we're going to reshoot these segments in an hour. And then we're going to come out here and do everything, complete opposite of everything we originally planned.
Yeah. They also removed the bundle. That was going to be in the PS4. Like the camera. They literally stripped the bundle from there and then lowered the shipments, and then there was a shortage of them. Because they and then there was a shortage of cameras because they weren't going to cut. It was just, oh man, it was crazy.
They were ready. They were like, all right, screw it all. We just got to take that second script we had ready in that briefcase. Start memorizing now.
Got to know how to adapt, man. You got to know how to adapt.
They had the writing. They had the script on their hands, because you can actually, and I really believe that, because if you watch that conference, he's literally doing this constantly while he's talking.
Never go first. Sony's learned to just never go first.
Never go first, man. All right, well, that was that. That was basically the rumor. I mean, I talked about it. You guys have heard my opinion. All this stuff is true, guys. It's not even like all this stuff. I received confirmation about Dragon Ball Fighter Z early in the year. Doc Trey talked about confirmation last year that he got. And from what I understand from other people that are in the know on things, Dragon Ball Fighter Z was pretty much a go from the beginning. It was just a matter of Bandai Namco not understanding like the Switch was going to take off and just literally just waiting. And that's the reason why the president said it's a shame, because they said it's a shame because Dragon Ball Fighter Z probably should have came out back in April for the Switch or in March, maybe it could have even launched with the Switch back in January, but they just didn't think the Switch was going to move as fast as it did in terms of sales and everything, and just waited on certain things. So therefore you get the delays on things, but it's coming. Dragon Ball Fighter Z, Fortnite Paladins.
Fortnite wasn't that just it was rated somewhere, right?
Korea, yeah, rated in Korea.
Okay, so that tells me, we're good. Everything's real.
Yeah, it's coming. And Paladins literally has config files with Switch crap all in it.
Haven't they talked about that for like so long about Paladins being on the Switch? I heard about that months ago.
Yeah, they've been getting updates, and it's been the updates on the config files for like data mining on the PC version has been updating it with Switch Joy-Cons, with the eShop, like the eShop. Like there's just it's happening. It's happening. Paladins.
Yeah, it's in the code for Paladins too, even on the PC game.
Yeah,
you can see Joy-Con configuration files.
Yeah, and obviously the developers of Overcooked are like, we're bathing in money. Let's go ahead and bathe in money more. Overcooked 2. I mean, I think that this is all like no brainer with a lot of this stuff, But we'll see about the confirmation. Next couple weeks, I guess. With E3.
What do you think's above that, OJ?
I don't know. I have no idea. But whoever did this intentionally.
I think they cut off the big ones.
Yeah,
cut off. Absolutely.
I did hear about a Wii U port. I know, like for a fact, there's another Wii U port that's going to come probably this year, but I can't.
There's only two left. No. There's only two left.
What's the two left?
It's Star Fox and Mario Maker. Those are the only two major games, right?
No, there's more.
Mario 3D World.
No, there's more, dude. There's more.
Exclusives?
More. Yeah. You guys will hear about it. You guys will hear about it. I can't say nothing, but there is another Wii U port that I mean, there might be more, guys. This is just one that I know that I'm like, oh, okay. That like I've gotten definitive like confirmation that this is coming. There's another one, but like I said, there could be more. There could be, they're probably porting over everything.
I have one more guess, but you're not going to say if it's right legally. I know. But, I'm gonna say Wonderful 101. That's another one.
That's another one, but I mean, it's not the one that I'm thinking about. But that could come over too. You know what I'm saying? That could come over too. So we'll have to.
True. Platinum did say they wanted to have that game on Switch.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who want that game on Switch.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that would buy it this time. That's the thing. Is like
that's the big thing. Yeah.
If they just smooth out the frame rate to 60. Just cut it consistent 60 and put it on Switch. I think it can be 500,000 units more, And
no more $60 ports, please.
Yeah, it's not.
Can we just do $40, man?
That's not happening.
$40. That's a good price point.
It's a great price point, but it's not happening.
This is essentially the first sale for some of those games.
Yeah, it's just. Yeah. I mean, I would personally, as a consumer, absolutely, that'd be great.
I'd be picking up everything again. I'd be like, oh yeah, absolutely. Put more time into this now. But
it's just not gonna happen. Nintendo is really strict on devaluating IPs.
They're also printing money because a lot of people didn't buy it in the last generation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that would, like I said, I would want that, but it's just I don't even entertain it because I know Nintendo's not gonna do it. I mean, they might be lenient on some. But if they feel that the game is worth 60, regardless if it already came out, they're just going to put it at 60. Like Captain Toad, they don't feel that game was worth 60 ever to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Like they never felt that game was worth 60, so therefore it's 40. You know what I'm saying? But if a game they feel, if it's worth 60, because I feel that Donkey Kong, if we're going to get into that, that game was supposed to be 60. They literally dropped it because the Wii U was getting bopped. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like it got delayed, and the Wii U was doing bad. They were hoping that the $50 price tag, and also that there would be a makeup, and people would go out there and buy it. And like that didn't happen. People didn't rush out there and buy Donkey Kong even when it was 50. But then people rush out there and buy it on on the Switch when it's 60. So Nintendo saw that and was like, okay, well, yep. I mean, I think that confirmed it for them. Pretty much any game that they release doesn't matter how old
funny
it
would
is.
it be if they took Captain Toad and just made it a $60 game on launch? How messed up would that be?
In my opinion.
That would be messed up, man. But I mean, I'm not buying it anyway. But I think with Captain Toad, you can clearly see when Nintendo feels something is worth less and when something is worth more. You know what I'm saying?
But how much is the 3DS version going to cost? Is that a $40 game as well?
I think the 3DS version is $40 or it's $29.99. I'm not 100% sure. I think it might be $29.99.
I think it's $29.99.
Interesting.
Yeah, it might be $29.99. So, Mac the Knife, I'm not playing with you guys. I'm simply just talking. I'm simply talking. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next topic here, guys. We are about an hour, and we're gonna go for about an hour and a half. These guys got stuff that they got to do, so I'm not gonna keep them too long. Keep your questions, like I said, coming in, or we're not coming in now, but we'll have a Q&A at the end. It's gonna be about 15 minutes, guys. I will be on the Spawncast later tonight, so I definitely gonna take a break and get ready for that. So hour and a half, I like to keep these. So have your questions ready, and we'll answer those in the next 15 minutes. We're gonna get through a couple topics here. Next is the Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee reveal. That was this week. And the main Coraline Pokemon game that's also going to be coming in 2019. Plus the Pokemon Quest. So we got triple slapped. Oh, you guys see what I did there? We got triple slapped with Pokemon news this week. So Jordan, guest Jordan, what do you think about this Pokemon goodness?
So I was very hesitant with all the rumors leading up to it being legit, because every time you heard these rumors come out, it always sounded so negative. You know, it's like, let's have this Pokemon Go integration. Be scared. It's gonna have all this stuff. Be scared. That screenshot came out. Oh, be scared. It's not gonna be a big change. And then when you see the trailer, you can clearly tell that screenshot was from it, but it was shot on a terrible screen with a 2003 Nokia phone. Yeah. So you're like, oh, okay, great. So that makes sense. But graphically, great. It's the type of game I'd want to see. It look like. As far as the Go integration as a business, it makes sense. It's a business for them to make sense to pull in all the Go players, to bring them on. They're going to sell 20 to 40 million extra Switch consoles because of this. I personally don't like that you don't have to battle Pokemon. You only battle trainers. But, if we're still getting the core game next year, I'm fine on that. I'm still going to try the games. It's still a Kanto, remake or a replay through or whatever they're going to call it. And I'm excited for that. I don't really have too much to say until I get the game. I'm not a big Pokemon Go player. I don't really like the game at all. So we'll see how that kind of translates into this. As far as the other stuff, I'm excited that Generation 8 is just like, hey, yeah, we're working on it next year. Just hold off with this, and then here, have a Pokemon Quest now. And I really like Pokemon Quest. It got really addicting really quick, and I even ended up buying the $30 DLC for the game because I put so many hours into it. I kind of felt like I got the $30 worth of enjoyment, and I'm still playing it daily, doing all my daily stuff in the game. And I think Pokemon came out hard. Like, they came out strong. They said, hey, here's 5 games coming out. You have 1 now, 2 later this year, 2 next year. Be happy. We're working on stuff for everyone. Mm-hmm. So I'm completely fine. I think they to shut down all the rumors and all the hating of what the things were going to be. They did a good job of coming out with everything. So I was very, very overall happy with what they announced and came out with.
Okay, John, your thoughts?
I'm honestly indifferent because I honestly don't play Pokemon all that much, but I know that my best friend is a huge Pokemon fan, and I'm pretty sure that he will be very, very excited for this game. But yeah, I'm pretty much happy that Nintendo has come out with a Pokemon title for Switch, because I felt that was something that a lot of their previous consoles, if you will, except for their handhelds, often lacked. And whatever Pokemon games they received, it just wasn't really that you would expect them to play on a handheld. But now that they're doing a Go title, which is in line with their successful smartphone business and a core title for next year, I think that's a very good move because, like I said, the more games, the better, because it means more players and it means that we'll get to see a lot more titles from both sides. So I'm really happy that Pokemon is coming for them.
Okay, cool. And Pokemon Madness, Skiz, what do you think?
Dude, I've already pre-ordered 3 copies of the game.
I know your family was hyper about that.
Yeah.
Your wife told me that your kids were jumping up and down about it, man.
Like, so I mean, obviously, I'm.
Uh-oh. I think did Skiz freeze?
Yeah.
It looks like it.
Right at the good part too. He was about to get into like what he was about to say about it, then all of a sudden it just froze. So I will say this, guys. I'll just kind of get into mine until okay. Skiz, we are back.
Are we back? I don't know. You tell me.
We back, boys. We back. Go ahead, Skiz.
So I grew up with Gen 1. I played all those. I couldn't get into Gen 2, and then it kind of got to the point where it's just repetitive. And then they announced this Let's Go, and I'm like, hey, there's a totally different experience here. I never got into Pokemon Go, but I saw this, and I'll be honest, I've put like 22 hours into Pokemon Go now since that announcement. So,
yeah, they know how to bring people in.
They do, and I'm super stoked for it. Obviously, a mainline title, 2019. I don't know. Like, I may not get that one because if it's still the same repetitive thing we've been doing for 20 years, it's not. That's what kept me out of it so far, so long this far. But if they bring in something new, even just a new art style on the Switch, then I'm totally down for this.
Here's the thing I think, Skiz. I think that this game and what they're doing here, the way that they're splitting it, I think this is perfect. Because I have heard the same thing. I mean, for most adults, if you're an adult, you got kids, you got a job, you're trying to do other stuff as well, Pokemon games are horrible for you. They just don't work in order to get the most out of them, right? Like the grinding, the amount of like 800 something Pokemon, all that. This game,
I ain't got time for that.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? I tried to get back into it because that was my college years. Was Gen 4 with Diamond and Pearl, and I tried to do that again with Pokemon Sun and Moon, and it doesn't work. Now, I have a daughter, I have bills, and I have all sorts of stuff. I gotta work, I gotta edit all day. Pokemon just doesn't fit with that because of all the stuff that you have to do to be successful in that game or to get the most out of it. I tried with Pokemon Sun and Moon, and I got bodied. I got completely bodied with that game. I just got overwhelmed with all the stuff and all the different Pokemon and everything. I was just like, I'm done. I didn't even finish the game. I got about halfway through. But this game, going back to the nostalgia roots, kind of going back and just saying, hey, we're simplifying things. You don't have to grind out wild battles all day. Maybe you can grind out trainer battles, but you don't have to grind out wild battles. And then you can get that game if you want that experience, which I'll buy the next year's Pokemon game too, guys. I'm still gonna buy it, and probably just play. But if you can get kind of both experiences and kind of get the people that played Pokemon Go and also get the mainline Pokemon players, I think this is a good fit because everybody gets what they want. If you're that hardcore mainline guy, you're gonna get that next year, and it's gonna give them more time to make the 800 Pokemon or whatever, however many Pokemon there are, 700 something or whatever it is. Which I was trying to let you guys know about that. That I don't think that they have enough time to make a fully fledged Pokemon game with all those Pokemon based off of some HD files from a 3DS game years ago. I mean, that doesn't mean they're gonna use the same thing. They're gonna sometimes they might want to create new sprites and textures. They might want to, there's all sorts of stuff that they have to do. They might want to innovate. So that doesn't mean just because you have something, that doesn't mean it's gonna come out as fast as possible. I mean, they might want to do new things. So
I think
that's my hope is the new things.
Yeah, I also appreciate them catering to both sides, creating a Pokemon game for those who like playing on the go and those who like classic Pokemon. It's the best of both worlds, in my opinion.
I think it's the smartest thing that they've ever done. I think this is going to be a good thing to, one, bring people in to try new things as well, but also keep the players like you guys who may not have all the time, but still have interest in playing some of it and stuff that you are more akin to, play those type of games where they're going to have every year instead of having a third game for the next generation. So when Generation 8 comes out the year after, we're not going to get an ultimate game maybe, but we're going to get a Let's Go, whoever else. We're going to get another type of Let's Go type game transitioning every single year between the regular core RPGs, and they're going to keep players who want to play like that invested and keep the traditional players very happy as well, and keep it going and let everything be for everyone if you want to try the other one or try the other one. So I think it's going to be a very smart decision on their part, because they know they can make 20 Pokemon games a year for every individual type of player, and they're going to sell every single one and make bank. They're going to sell so much just with these games alone, and then next year they're going to sell even more with the core titles. So it's going to be I think it's the smartest thing they've ever done. So
yeah. I agree, because their spin-offs have been trash in the past. In my opinion, I've never really
some of them have.
I mean, there's been some great ones. I mean, obviously Pokemon Snap is good. People like that, but I don't like it as much. I mean, there's like Hey You Pikachu. There's like
you're playing the wrong spin-offs. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, not the newer Mystery Dungeons, the OG Mystery Dungeons.
Yeah.
What do you mean the wrong ones? I told OJ, I think me and you had this conversation back when I first started being really active about how like I need Pokemon Snap for the Switch. Yeah, I'm still waiting for this.
Yeah, I know. You know what? They didn't do it on Wii U, so I thought Wii U would have been the system. If they were gonna do a Pokemon Snap, the Wii U would be the system to do it on.
They're going to make it like Pokemon Quest. They're going to put it on mobile phone and on the Switch, so you can take it around and travel with it and take pictures and see Pokemon in the real world.
Put it on my mobile.
That would be great.
That is
they're going to make so much money off that.
A Pokemon Snap mobile game would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. And if they want to take that, I want royalties, please.
With them having the like integrated reality like they have with the current Pokemon Go, making a Pokemon Snap like that would be.
You basically already
exist,
yeah. Yeah. So just make it a fuller fledged game, make it free, and obviously whatever microtransactions, like you can only take so many pictures a day. You want to take more, you pay $5.
Don't say that. Just.
But they're going to do it anyway
for the game, and you can give me the game.
I mean, I'll take that as well.
I remember a little bit of Pokemon Snap on the N64, and even though I liked it then, I didn't really love it. But still, if a title like this were to come to Switch, yeah, I can definitely see it being a win-win situation.
I think HD Rumble Pokemon Snap would be pretty cool. Like different types of like. Cameras and stuff that you can do. That'd be kind of cool. I want to give a quick shout out to Christian, who hit us with a $5 donation through Super Chat and says, "Hey OJ, just wanted to say this will be my first Pokemon experience in a while, so I'm excited to get my hands on both. Can't wait." So there you go. People are excited. I think as we've seen with the Amazon sales, and we've seen with like a lot of the reactions, like. I think once the games come out and people just see HD Pokemon, even though it's simplified, it's like HD Pokemon you can battle, and it's gonna be like, all right, this is good enough for now. Like this is, people are just gonna go out there and buy it. I mean, and this is like, I also reported that this is the hugest shipment of any game to date so far as French retailers goes. Like this is the biggest shipment of games. They're getting over 600,000 copies for France alone. So they're expecting huge numbers, and that's just France.
800 million on Go, can't lie. So.
I want the U.S. numbers. I hope we get that.
We never usually get shipment numbers for the U.S., but I mean we'll know right away like what the shipment numbers could have been based on.
We'll know if there's a shortage.
Yeah, I mean we'll know based on that because Mario Odyssey came out and like the shipment numbers were definitely like in the 5 to 6 million unit range for the U.S. Like easily in the 5 to 6 million unit range for the U.S. So. I'm guessing that it's going to be higher than that. It's going to be in the 9 to 10 million unit range for the U.S. alone for Pokemon Let's Go.
Don't forget, people are going to buy a copy of each as well.
Yeah.
So it's going to make double the sales of anything, most likely.
Do you guys like the whole? I mean, I know I've been fanboying out about the whole Pokeball.
Dude, thing. I like it. Okay. I like it.
You like it?
I'm digging it. I think it's so fun, man. It's like every time Pokemon tries to add something like that, I think it's fun. Like the Pokewalkers for Gold and Silver remakes, like that was cute. That was fun. You bring it around, you can train your Pokemon and bring them back, put it in your game. Thought that was cool. Now they've refined that, and it's a Pokeball. That's awesome. That's so cool.
Nintendo made $300 off us already.
Yeah. No, they're making so much money. I got all my stuff pre-ordered besides the Pokeball.
All three
I'm ready to go.
3 of the Pokeballs are already ready.
Yeah, that's what Fairy Tiger hit us with a $1 donation. Thank you for that Streamlabs shimmy, my guy. And he says 3 copies of each 3 Pokeballs pre-ordered. Can't wait. My guy is gonna be Ash Ketchum out there. My guy is gonna be the belt with all of them. My guy is going to be he's going to be red. He's going to be Gary Oak. He's going to have, this man's going to be catching Pokemon we can't even catch in the game if you got all that stuff. He's gonna be catching Gen 4 and 5. Gonna be catching out here, catching these different types of Pokemon. Let's go.
Season, dude. With Pokemon and then Smash Bros, it's done, dude. Switch won the holiday season already. Well, there's nothing that's gonna top it.
Switch and PS4. I mean, I think that Spider-Man, then Ghost of Tsushima, and is that game coming out this year?
I don't even know if it's this year. I just know they're finally showing it off. Like last year was just a trailer.
Yeah, I think it's beginning of next year.
Okay.
That makes sense.
That game looks hype.
It does look so good. I'm excited for it.
It looks good.
It's Sucker Punch, right?
Yeah, Sucker Punch.
And I trust him. I trust him completely, man.
And Sucker Punch, you trust. I mean,
I have an infamous Second Son tattoo, dude. I'm about them. I love Sucker Punch.
That's my favorite PlayStation franchise. Is Infamous.
I wish they'd bring us another one, please.
Did you like Second Son?
I enjoyed it. It wasn't Infamous 1 or 2, but I really liked it. I liked the setting. Okay. I like that. Do a new setting.
It wasn't as good. Don't kill me, SJW or anything, guys, but I really like the fact that you played as a Native American. I thought that was really cool. That was really cool.
No,
I'm always all for games that feature much diversity in different races, because I really like the idea of playing different people from different cultures, because it gives a very interesting look at a different side of humanity that you don't normally see.
Absolutely, 100%. I mean, and also because I'm a big history buff, and anytime you put Native Americans into something, I'm automatically interested, because they got screwed really bad, and that's not a good thing, but it's always good if they can look at the history of Native Americans and see how it is, and because you see so few,
And I think that's why, my franchise, OG, we've talked about this, Assassin's Creed. They did, Assassin's Creed 3 with, Native American.
Yep.
Yeah,
and it was the worst game on the market from that franchise.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why did you pick that one to be your cultural acceptance game?
The funny thing is, dude, with this, I don't like Assassin's Creed. Okay, I played the first one, played the second one, didn't like them, but I bought 3 day one because there was a Native American as the main character. Because I was that interested in Native Americans.
Ever.
Oh man.
But it was a very problematic game.
It's horrible on Wii U. Yeah. It's really bad on Wii U.
I still have 212 hours in it, but it was the worst one.
I really wish I got that feeling of the trailer when the war is happening and you're running through the battlefield, but that happens once and it's not nearly as epic. Not even close.
It is if you play the Tyranny of King Washington.
Okay, but if you pay more and get DLC, then yes, you can.
It was a $10 DLC.
On the Wii U, you were lagging through that. You were like walking like you were like a robot on the Wii U. You were doing the game runs at 15 frames per second, dude.
Did it get to 15?
I know, that's very disappointing.
I was exaggerating a bit. It's 17 is the lowest that I've seen it go.
Oh, well, I mean, I thought it was less than that. So.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah,
they didn't even try for the Wii U port to they didn't
Did
even
any Wii U port really try that hard?
I think Black Flag was a lot better.
Black Flag was much better.
Yeah. Black Flag was
better.
Yeah.
That's
they at least got 30 frames per second out of Black Flag.
Yeah, and so it was an unlock, so actually sometimes it went above 30.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes. You gotta
if you're out in the middle of the ocean with nothing going on, and it's just your crew, you're hitting, 31.
I remember that game. Before we get into Q&A, guys, go ahead, John. Go ahead.
It says here that in the comment section that the Assassin's Creed 3 team had 5 people, and it was like, whoa. No wonder that team was very rough.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't hear about that, but maybe. But real quick before we move into Q&A, I remember there was a really funny thing that a YouTuber named Shokyo did with that game. Real quick, guys. So Assassin's Creed, Wii U at the time, people were always hating on it, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't selling, whatever the case was, So when Nintendo showed off Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Shokyo said, first footage of Assassin's Creed Black Flag running on Wii U. And everybody went there and hated on it. Everyone's like, oh, look at this trash. The graphics look horrible. And what everyone didn't notice is that Nintendo actually had the Xbox One version playing of the game during their own conference. God. So he troll-trapped everyone because everyone was saying how trash the graphics were, how bad it was. Dude, it was the Xbox One version of the game, right?
Jesus.
So that was a black flag, but black flag. So
because it had been announced, but they didn't actually have the playable game for the Wii U yet, so Nintendo had to use the Xbox version.
Yeah. And everyone was talking about how trash the graphics were in his comment section, and he troll trapped them all. So I think that was one of Shokyo's epic moments that he did. I thought that was pretty good.
By the way, I think there's one more topic that we have before we go into Q&A, and that's Mega Man 11 dated.
We are going to have to skip that just because if we can take a question on it. So if you guys have questions on Mega Man 11, we can take a question. But just so I can get you guys out of here on time, and I got to be out of here on time.
It's dated. We're hyped. That's it.
Yeah, Mega Man 11 is dated for October 2nd. We're all hyped
wants
for
it. We're good.
Oh yeah, very much excited. I've been playing Mega Man Legacy Collection on Switch, and I'm having a blast with it so far. I'm looking forward to this one.
And this one, it's already up on the sales charts for the Switch. Like it's $29.99. It's a cheap game. It's not expensive. It's $29.99.
It's a damn good deal.
Yeah, it's looking like it's gonna be good, guys. So yeah, that's Mega Man 11. We just don't have as much time to go over each individual one. So I should have put, if we have time, put that in there. But we're going to get into questions because I want to make sure that we answer quite a number of questions. So if you guys do have a question, let us know. Also, I want to give some shout outs before we get you guys' questions. Please tag me at Player Essence with orange because it highlights it in orange for me. So if you have a question, but if you're talking to someone else, obviously you can just put whatever you want. But tag me with the questions. Shout outs to Ollie Kennedy with the subscription. Thank you so much. Welcome to the village. Also, Landon, was it Lamond Parker?
Lamond Parker.
Yeah, Lamond Parker. Thank you so much. Welcome to the village, homie. I do appreciate the subscription, man. Thank you so much. Also, Toon Mark Plays also hitting us with that subscription. Thank you guys so much. Do appreciate the multiple subscriptions during the podcast. So thank you. Appreciate that, guys. All right. So the first question here. You guys got to tag me in orange. You got to tag me at Player Essence, or I'm probably not going to read the question, guys. So Danny Skelling's, thank you. Shout out to Elite Ninja Danny Skelling. Hit us with that headband emote. Let's go. He says, Player Essence, what's up, my ninja? Do you think we will get special edition Switch with decals on the dock for Monster Hunter Double Cross in North America?
Oh my gosh.
No. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna say no. We haven't even seen many variations of anything besides Mario or Zelda. So
yeah,
until I start seeing more, I'm gonna say no. Not for a Monster Hunter.
Okay.
I have no opinion on this whatsoever.
Okay, well, there you go. Next question comes from Hom Hawthorne. Shout out to Elite Ninja Hom Hawthorne. And he says, do you think we will get Assassin's Creed on Switch? I'm going to say no. Next up. What do you guys think?
Not this year. Not this one.
Not this
as
one.
much as I want it, no.
My answer to that question is maybe. It depends on what Ubisoft decides to do. But on the other hand, given that neither Assassin's Creed 3 or 4 did particularly well on Wii U, I really don't know. I mean, it would be nice if they gave it a try, but who knows?
Good question, though, Hom. Do appreciate that. Next is from the boy, the Elite Ninja, the man himself, Avidin Smith. Shout outs to Avidin, dude. Make sure you guys check out his channel. Says, Playerson's question for the cast. What do you guys think the new Smash game will be called? Ooh, that's interesting. Super Smash Brothers for Nintendo Switch. That's what I think it'll be called.
That's the safest guess. I guess, honestly.
Odyssey?
Super Smash Sisters. Calling it right now.
Oh, man, dude.
They're changing it up. It's 2018. To be honest,
though, if it's not called Super Switch Brothers, then the marketing team needs to be fired.
Super Switch Brothers. Oh, God. All right. Well, John, do you have any type of prediction?
Well, no. As a matter of fact, I'm afraid that if I make any predictions of any kind, I'll probably end up feeling like, oh, my God, I can't believe I actually predicted that. So I'm just going to be safe and say it'll probably just be another Super Smash Brothers title. But who knows? It'll be nice to be surprised.
Just title it. You're going to buy it anyway. It doesn't need a title.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what we call it. You're going to buy it.
Super
give us $60 the game.
Yeah, come on. You know you're going to buy it no matter what.
Yeah, it's going to sell.
Yeah, so I don't think it matters. But we'll have to wait and see. Next question is from Scarlett. Shout out to the Elite Ninja Scarlett. And she says, player, since looking at the trailer to Bayonetta 3, do you think Bayonetta is going to die in this one? I think it's a possibility. But I think that it could be a memory. It could be like a foretelling of what could happen if Bayonetta doesn't do these certain things. There could be time travel involved and things like that. So yeah, I think she does. but they could pull a Mass Effect, like a Shepard. You guys remember Mass Effect 2, where like Shepard dies at the very beginning, And
Oh, I haven't played that game at all. I'm sorry to say.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, Shepard
Well,
dies.
you're missing one of the best games ever.
Oh, it's fantastic. Mass Effect 2 is fantastic.
So good.
Although it's a victim of the time period, I think that if you played it when the games came out, it's more enjoyable than playing it at this point because everyone's already spoiled everything. So it's like,
better than Andromeda. If you're gonna play any, just play Mass Effect 2 though. Don't waste your time with Andromeda.
That is that's an understatement, Jordan. They say that it's better than Andromeda.
I think that's my most disappointing game of all time. Yeah. I was so excited. It's trash. It's absolute garbage.
Andromeda's not really good. Although I've played and beat it, but it's not really good.
I'm sorry you made it the whole way through. I gave up. I just gave up at a certain point.
Oh, don't worry. There was plenty of times where I was like, this game is really stupid.
It's really stupid. Man, it's so bad.
This game is really bad, especially when the Krogan started talking like I can't say I can't say it, but yeah, anyway. Anyway, we're going to move on.
Yeah, getting back to Bayonetta 3, honestly, I really don't know what's going to happen in this one, but either way, I'm intrigued. I enjoyed Bayonetta 1 and 2 immensely, and I'm very much looking forward to this one.
All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the next question here. We got the brand new sponsors already kind of joined, or not sponsor, brand new subscribers already kind of joining in on the comment section. So Le Mans Corner says, Player Essence, your thoughts on Fallout 76 being a survival game? I'm a huge Fallout fan, and I think, Jordan, you are too.
Yeah, I'm a big I got a Fallout Boy on my arm.
Exactly.
I'm about it. I didn't cover it yet, because like I don't really know too much about it, and I want to talk like when we finally get to see that announcement on it, be excited. But dude, I'm hyped. Whatever they're gonna bring out, I honestly thought the tease was for Fallout 3 10-year like remake. Like I thought they're gonna put it on the Fallout 4 engine and put it on all consoles. Because it's 10 years this year for Fallout 3. But
they might. There might be two. There might be two.
You know what? Still do it. I'll rebuy. It's the best one.
Yeah.
I love 3. So bring me more of that, but I'm down for whatever they do.
You like going underneath all those bunkers and just being confused and going through endless
bunkers?
Oh yeah,
no, I love it because it takes place in Washington D.C. and outskirts of Maryland, which is where I live, and I can see they have certain places in the game that I used to live near. I was like, that's so cool to see it destroyed in this time period. And I love it. I love 3, so I'm about it.
All right,
give me more of that.
I think that it's cool. I think that if they want to do something different, they're going to do something different because they could be working on another Fallout game as well. I mean, you never know what they're going to do. You never know what they're going to do. So if they want to try something different, let them try something different. Let them try something different. So that's my thoughts. Skiz, do you have any thoughts on Fallout 76?
I'm stoked for it. I love Fallout. I've liked all of the Fallout games so far, even the bad ones. So, I'm ready for it. I'm hoping it's something different, and then I do honestly believe we're going to get the Fallout 3 remaster this year as well. So.
I hope so.
That's a rumored game for Switch too, guys. Just to let you know.
I don't think it's going to be here. I just don't know if we're going to get it before end of year.
Yeah, Skyrim was their test for Bethesda on Switch. Then they started doing the other stuff with Doom, and then with Wolfenstein coming up. So they're ready to start putting the Fallout stuff on here next. It's inevitable for everything.
Go for it, I'd say, because given that I've never even touched a single thing related to Fallout, never played it whatsoever, I might be curious about it if it hits.
It's a very unique. There's no other RPG on the market like it. I think I would say it's pretty unique. The VAT system. Like the funny thing about Fallout 3 is how horrible the shooting is, but then how good it is. How fun it is. The shooting's, I think, terrible, but the VAT system is amazing. So there's like this balance of
master VATs.
Yeah, you just have to master VATs, but like the aiming and everything is horrible. Now they fixed that in Fallout 4. Fallout 4 controls like a normal like first-person shooter.
Yeah.
But Fallout 3's aiming is just terrible. But at the same time, I liked it. I don't know why I did, but I did. So I'm not really sure.
I think if you never played a Fallout before, the easier one to get into is 4. It's the most accessible with controls, and it's a little less RPG-ish than 3 and New Vegas. And I would say jump into that. But after you get those, dude, definitely play 3 and New Vegas. I think New Vegas gets way too much hate. I like New Vegas a lot.
I'm just going to stay silent on this one.
Okay, what's next on the question list?
Jordan, we can talk. I guess I can DM you why
right,
I hate. I can
save
DM
that
you why
for
I
another
hate.
time.
Yeah, we can save it for another time. Maybe we can have a Fallout podcast or something like that. We can
That's our falling out right there, right?
Jordan's like, all right, Jordan's no longer joining us on the EssenceCast anymore.
See?
All right,
Once and only appearance.
All right, let's go and get into the next question here, guys. We'll answer. We're going to extend it out a little bit more. Also, I want to give some real quick shout outs. Nintendcraft. Thank you for the subscription. Also, Turboverse TV. Also, thank you so much for the subscription. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. You guys are really hitting that subscribe button, so thank you. Let's see here. I'm going to move on to a question that's kind of a little bit more to what we can answer here. So Ricardo Rafael Silva says, Players, do you think there's a chance of Octopath Traveler to sell near Xenoblade 2 numbers for the Switch? I actually think there's a chance that Octopath could sell more faster than Xenoblade. Here's a couple reasons why. Time period. Back when Xenoblade 2 first came out, install base, right? The install base was around 10 million units. Now at this point, the install base is probably going to be around 20 million units when Octopath comes out. So you have double the install base. So therefore, more potential customers. Also, time period. Not on the holiday season when there was a ton of games that people were still trying to get and everything like that. It's right there in the summer. There's not a lot of competition as well. I mean, there's competition, but there's not as much. And it's pretty much the premier game in terms of Nintendo Switch outside of Captain Toad. But I think people will buy Captain Toad and it. So I think there's a very good chance that Octopath jumps out to 2-3 million units within the first couple months on the market. So yeah, I think it could sell just as much or pass it up very quickly in terms of Xenoblade. So yeah, no doubt, because I think Xenoblade's around 1.5 million or 1.6, something like that. So I think it can easily pass it up very quickly just because of the bigger install base, hype kind of going behind it, the Bravely Default team. I mean, there's a lot of things because the Bravely Default games, those actually sold over 1 million on 3DS, and that's 3DS. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Switch is just, the games just sell at a higher frequency rate, even with the lower install base. So, yeah, I think so. What do you guys think? Skiz, you wanna jump on this one? Never mind, he froze. Okay, so John, what do you think?
I definitely don't really care how much it sells, although secretly I really would like to see it perform extremely well, both because I like seeing Nintendo and Square Enix work together, and two, I definitely would like to see them bring more of their titles over to Nintendo Switch. But on the other hand, what I'm really looking forward to is just playing this game, period, because the moment I saw the trailer for this game, I knew it was going to be something special. It looks and sounds absolutely amazing, and the little bit that I played of the demo, I just loved it. Loved every second of it. So all I'm saying is bring on this game. And I hope it sells too.
I think it's going to. I've heard enough people talk about it and get excited about it. I played the demo. I really enjoyed the demo, and usually like these type of RPGs I fell out of maybe 8 years ago. And this one has my interest. I don't know if it'll be like a day one pickup for me, but I'm really digging what I'm seeing. I like how I really love the art style. I think doing what, the everything looks realistic and 3D and cool, except, everything's also 2D and it's a good blend. I'm digging it, and I think it's going to do really well.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. I love the retro feel to it, and I also like the modern touch to it as well. It's the best of both worlds, honestly.
It's enough uniqueness to make the game stand out without only standing out because of that. So I think it's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Nice. Just a real quick question from Nintendcraft. I think all of us here are hyped for Spyro, the Ignited. So
some people are, I'd say.
Yeah, I think all of us are pretty hyped for it. I'm hyped for it as well. I think it's going to be a good game. Obviously, they're already good games.
Honestly, because I've never really played Spyro. I'm willing to try it, though. It's just not one that I'm super excited for is all.
Hey, man, $40. Can't go wrong. 3 great games.
Can't go wrong, man. And the graphics are just insane, too, by the way.
Dude, that gameplay that they dropped yesterday was just
good,
magnificent. It's so beautiful.
It makes you like man, being a gamer is the best. When you get we constantly get movies are one thing, but as a gamer, it's just so cool. Especially this year, there's been so much great stuff to see. All the companies just put out stuff, but I think third-party companies are really they're stepping up their remaster game. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe that's a indictment on the games that are coming out today. But I honestly think
they're seeing how well they sell. They're seeing nostalgia work for Pokemon, Crash Bandicoot. So they're like, what else can we throw at the wall that people love? Let's go digging and see. And then they're like, wow, this franchise hasn't been touched in 10 years. Exactly. Everyone loves it. Let's bring it back. Jak and Daxter's probably next. You know,
I mean,
that's going to be one of the big ones.
And
that's going to be waiting.
And I think that, like, let's say EA put out like a Mass Effect collection. That's when I actually say something nice about EA. If they put out like a remaster, 1080p 60 frames per second, PS4, Xbox One, PC, that's when I actually say something nice about EA. The first 3 games, skip and drop.
Or Skate 4. Give me a Skate 4 finally. That's all I need to.
Even if they remastered all the skates and put them together, I mean, like, people would buy that. Too. You know, like, I mean, so. People are realizing that, and people are starting to understand, like, okay, these remaster stuff, like, you got to do them because these are really good games. Real quick, another question. J2 Blue says, player, since what are you guys' thoughts on Mega Man art style? I mean, I think it's cool. I don't have a problem with it. What are you guys' thoughts on Mega Man art style?
I think it looks absolutely terrific. I mean, I'm all for the classic Mega Man style, but on the other hand, sometimes you do have to update it in order to make it more appealing to audiences. And I'm really glad that they went with this Japanese anime aesthetic feel. A, because it's a perfect fit for Mega Man. 2, because this series was created by Japanese people to begin with, and I've always loved that aesthetic style for this kind of game. And 3, because I think it's the best of both worlds. Honestly, you don't get to see an outrageously unrealistic looking 3D CGI looking thing, and you get something that's somewhat close to what you saw with Mega Man 8, but not totally as bland looking. I personally think it looks terrific. I'm looking forward to it.
Agent C says, player, since is it do or die for Xbox at E3? Even if we get Halo 6, Gears 5, Forza, will the Game Pass affect quality? Is the quality of the game? EX so tells of SOT, or is that SOT and State of Decay? Oh, Sea of Thieves, example Sea of Thieves and all. Well, if we get all of that, then Xbox is fine because Xbox has managed, and at least in America, Xbox has managed to sell pretty good. You know, even with that, and like they're around what 40 million. I mean, when it's all said and done, maybe by the next generation they'll be at what 49 to 50 million, maybe even 60 million. Is that bad? Is that supposed to, I mean, that'd be more than the Super Nintendo, or that'd be right around the Super Nintendo. I mean, that's not horrible. I think people get spoiled by, like, you know, PlayStation selling 100 million or whatever the case is, or Xbox 360 selling 88 or whatever million that it sold. I think that they're still doing okay. So people are saying do or die and everything, but 35 million going on 40 million, that's not bad. I know it's been out for a while. I know it's been out for 5 years, and that, I mean, it could be a lot better, but I don't think that's necessarily bad. Like, I don't, you know, so I don't know if it's do or die, but they got the franchises to do it. They've got Halo, they've got Gears, they've got Forza. I mean, they've got the franchises to do it. So I think they'll be okay. I think they'll be okay at this year's E3. So, or
they can just crash and burn like everyone wants to. So
I want that competition though. I want them to be here. I want them to be around. So I think they got.
It's not a competition at this point.
I need redemption for Halo 5. They messed up so bad. It's the worst thing they've done, and that hurts. It's terrible. They need to fix it.
Worse than Halo ODST, worse than Halo Master Chief Collection, worse than those two.
Maybe not Master Chief. No, it's better than Master Chief. It's worse than Master. I like Master Chief Collection a little bit. I don't like what they did with Halo 2. I thought it was a bad. 343 screwed up Halo. I'll say that. Everything they've done, they've screwed up. ODST is better than Halo 5, 100%. Okay. I would rather play ODST for the rest of my life if it meant never having 5 in existence. That's that. I'll even say that. 5 was terrible. I hate it with a passion.
I've got a sealed copy of Halo 5, and Kid Smooth, who's an Xbox fan, almost like choked me through the screen. It was like...
Yeah. Oh, dude, I got the $250 collector's edition day one. I'm a huge Halo fan. I was pumped. The giant statue. You get the steel book. You open up the steel book. Guess what's inside? A digital code of the steel. And you get a steel book. And guess what they said? Well, if you want a disc for it, even though you paid more and people who pay less get the disc, if you want it, send us in your code. Wait 3 weeks. We'll send you in a disc, and then you can have
They put a digital code in a steel box?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a jumbo steelbook this thick. You open it up and it's just codes, just a bunch of codes. When that happened, I knew there was a sign. I was so mad, and I started playing the game. I'm like, you don't even play as Master Chief. That's dumb. You have 3 missions with him. Terrible. You fight the same boss 18 times. The only thing that's good about that game is the graphics look pretty good.
Graphics are good.
Yeah, that's about it.
That is the definition of malarkey right there, my guy.
They didn't say anything about it either. They even advertised like, yeah, you get the Steelbook game. They didn't say it was a code
print. In there. Probably the small print, dude.
It's small print, backwards in a different language, probably.
Oh man! All right, so let's go move on to the next question here. Let's see here. We're kind of winding it down. Jay, I cannot say that name. Walbadams. I don't know, dude. People these in these usernames. He says, "Oh, do you guys think Sly 5 will be revealed this E3?" And the second question is, if you guys can pick one character, what character would you like to see in Smash? I'll just answer that real quick. No, I don't think Sly 5 is coming out. That is another Dr. Evil no. And in terms of character that I could pick, if I can only pick one character, it'd be Chrono. That'd be the character that I want so bad. Would be Chrono from Chrono Trigger. Skiz? Never mind. John?
No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Skiz?
To answer, well, the first part of the question is, I really don't have an opinion one way or another about Sly 5, so I'm not the best person to ask about that. But what character would I really like to see hit Smash Brothers? Well, we've already got Cloud, but I personally think what they should go for is Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Big time.
All right.
Could be interesting.
Skiz?
There's not going to be a Sly 5 ever. Okay, that's probably not true, but
All right, it's confirmed. Never happening.
confirmed it's never happening. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know. As far as Smash Bros. Character goes, like I'm actually with you, OJ. I think Chrono would be the best character to introduce to the game.
He would be. I like you, Skiz. He would be.
I only have like, I don't know, 12 or 13 playthroughs of Chrono Trigger.
Oh, yeah, you have to. You're not a Chrono Trigger fan unless you do that.
Chrono Trigger is the best. It's one of the best games of all time. I love it.
It is.
It and Final Fantasy VI are among my top favorites.
It's so ahead of its time. It is crazy how ahead of its time it is. Like, it is insane. It is insane.
I don't know how we don't have a remake of that yet.
I don't know. I want to choke somebody at Square Enix. I want to I don't know who to choke, though. I don't know who to choke.
You have that part of me that's defensive because, like, okay, they're doing Final Fantasy VII right now, but I would almost be willing to say just scrap that and bring me a remake of Chrono Trigger.
I would take PS3 level graphics remake of Chrono Trigger any day. Like,
yeah.
But, I mean, there's a lot of people that will disagree with us, though, because obviously Final Fantasy VII remake, the people want that. So, real quick, though, to Jordan. Jordan, any Smash character that you want to see in there? I mean, I think I kind of know, but go ahead.
Well, I'm not going to say my obvious answer talking about Spyro. I've already talked about that quite enough. At first, I wasn't on board. Then I heard all these rumors, and where Spyro goes, I'm going to go. If he's in the game, great. I'll play as him. But I'm going to throw out a random Pokemon for the heck of it. I'm going to say, because it's stupid enough, Alolan Exeggutor, because I just want to see how that would even happen.
That big old tall neck Pokemon?
Nobody wants to talk to you anymore, Jordan.
Yeah,
that's fine. I'll be playing with him as my main, and I'll be up there, and you can't even get to me.
Oh God, your hitbox will be gigantic.
Yeah,
you be getting.
Yeah, but so would his hit range though.
Yeah, that's true. But in in a 4-person melee battle, like a 4-person man, you're gonna be getting because like big.
No, I'd be bodied, dude. I'd be bodied.
Because like big people.
I just thought of it. I thought it'd be so stupid. So why not?
Yeah.
Throw a stupid one in there like that.
Going back a little bit earlier to what we said about Chrono Trigger, this card that I'm holding up right here, it's from a soundtrack album that I recently got from Japan, and that soundtrack in question is Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which is by the same guy who wrote the music to Chrono Trigger, the one and only Yasunori Mitsuda. It's beautiful, beautiful stuff. I recommend its music. It's gorgeous.
Absolutely. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to these questions. There's a quick question from Mr. Horfarn, and he says, "Do you think FIFA 19 will be a lazy port like FIFA 18?" I mean, probably. I mean,
yeah, it will.
Oh, it's EA. What else is new?
Yeah, who cares? It probably will be. But I mean, if you want portable FIFA, that's the only place to play it. So there you go. Let's see here. Ozone Child, which we're only going to take a couple more questions, guys. Ozone Child says, Player Sense, what is your ideal release schedule for first and third party? Okay, that's going to take me way too long. I can't. I can't answer that.
That's a solo video you got to work on.
Yeah, that's a whole video on its own right. So maybe I'll talk about that later. We got some new subscribers, so we'll get those before at the end of this. So I think that's basically it, guys. We pretty much ran through all the questions here that we have time for. So before we go, I do want to say some shout outs to some new subscribers. So I think it's Kamar, is it Muskagods, and Mamal 2. Thank you guys.
I think it's like with a K.
What is it?
Music with a K, I think.
Oh, music. Okay, I said musk. Did I say musket? Why would I pronounce it musky? Like, what am I looking at? These glasses.
It's like fighters. It's music gods.
What am I looking at? Anyway, shout outs, man. Thank you so much for the subscription. Appreciate that. We got a number of subscriptions, more than we ever get for usually like just out of nowhere like this. So thank you guys. I appreciate that. We got to do more podcasts. And Mamal, I think it's Mamal too. Thank you so much, man. And also K19? K19 donated $2.50 through Streamlabs. Thank you for using Streamlabs. Appreciate that. It says, how many of your re-downloaded a Pokemon Go after the announcement of Let's Go? I know I did. Hi. Pokeflip LOL JK.
He's making fun of me. That's my friend.
That's your buddy?
Yeah. He's taking a dig at me because I used to, a long time ago, my channel was named Pokeflip and I talked exclusively about Pokemon. And since now Pokemon's relevant again and I'm talking about it, they're like, Pokeflip's back. Oh my God.
Okay.
So he's giving me stuff. I already had Pokemon Go stayed on my phone. I just haven't opened it in 2 years. Okay. I never undownloaded it. I'm not going to do that, but I just won't touch it. I'll say I have it. I just don't play it.
Yeah.
And that's my stance.
I haven't re-downloaded it yet, but I know once I get all this stuff cleared up, guys, some of you guys already know, once I get all this crap that I'm dealing with off of my career that I'm doing here, like in my personal life, once I get all this situated, which hopefully should be by June 6th, I'm hoping and praying June 6th will be the last of this trash, because I've been running around like a freaking, I've been all over the place just doing stuff. But once that's done, guys, hopefully I can re-download Pokemon Go and I can enjoy life again. Hopefully I can enjoy life again after the 6th. Outside, I mean, I always enjoy hanging out with you guys and working. That's always enjoyment. But my own personal life has been very, outside of hanging out with my daughter, has been very bad. It hasn't been good. So hopefully I can enjoy life and I can do stuff like Pokemon Go and all that after June 6th. I'm hoping, but we'll have to wait and see. But stuff has gotten a lot better for me, though. Even in the past few weeks since this stuff is happening, there's been really bad stuff, but then there's been some really good stuff. So yeah. So it's a balancing act. But I'm hoping soon I can get back to playing Pokemon Go and going out and, chilling with friends and doing all this stuff like that, not being such a recluse, and stuff like that. So, and of course working as much as I work too. So yeah, I think I'll re-download it after that point. Any of you? What about you guys, Skiz and Skiz? You already have it, right?
I have it again now. Yeah.
John,
I don't know.
Are you looking at maybe getting it or something?
Good question. I haven't really thought about that. I'm pretty much fine where I am at the moment. I'm still working as an assistant teacher at Bartle School's after-school program, but it's my dream to be a voiceover artist someday. A lot of my friends at home says that I have the potential to do it, but it's very, very complicated. But I definitely like playing games as a nice little downtime.
All right, so you might get Pokemon Go, you might not. Just depends.
Yeah, I know. I'm 50-50. I mean, I'm not into Pokemon that much, but I might try it out on the Switch. So we'll see.
All right. Well, all right, guys. So that basically wraps it up for this one here. We are going to raid somebody. We are going to raid the crap out of somebody. But before we get that raid done, I want to thank everyone. Also, Brooks Personal Looks hit us with a $2 donation through Super Chat, and he says TY. So I don't know what that
bars
means.
Right there, bars.
Yeah, bars on the profile name, dude. Well, shout out to Brooks Personal Looks. He's donated many times before, so thank you so much, man. Appreciate that. We are going to raid somebody. Yeah, we're gonna raid Zyphos. We're gonna raid Zyphos in just a bit, guys. But before we do that, we gotta do our sign outs and everything. So I want to make sure that you guys know where you can find all these guys, because all these guys do have social media and stuff like that. So we're gonna start off with our guest here, Jordan. He's going on 17,000 subscribers. If you could just tell people briefly about your channel, and guys, remember, link in the description below. All these guys' stuff is there. But Jordan, go ahead and do your sign off, man, and let people know about your channel, what you have coming up.
All right, so I talk about a lot about Spyro. I'm covering everything in all Spyro right now, Pokemon, and basically anything in gaming that interests me. And I'm going to be going to E3 and covering a bunch of awesome stuff. If anyone here in the chat knows Alex CND, him and I work together, so we'll be traveling, making a bunch of content together soon.
Oh, he's a
big
YouTuber. He's huge.
He's a good boy, and we've been working together for like almost a year now. So we're gonna be working on some cool stuff coming up. So that's the future of the channel. There's gonna be a lot more involvement with him and some awesome gaming stuff in the future. So if you want to have fun, talk about games in a positive environment, then come on through.
That's why I like you here, man. And you're a very positive type of person. You say what you need to say. You know, if it's negative or not negative, just your own opinion on things, but you never overblow, you know, or overblow it out of proportion. You know, you don't go crazy about stuff. You just say, hey, this is what I think. You know, maybe I don't like this, and then like, you just kind of move on. That's what I like the most about your channel. It's very level headed, you know, and like obviously you gave great opinions, and you're good on podcasts, dude. So I love having you here.
Well, I appreciate the kind words. Thank you so much.
No problem, man. I watch your channel all the time, so it's always good to see one of your videos. So you guys go check him out. Check out Jordan, man. He has a fantastic channel. Next, we're gonna move on to John. Let him know where they can find you, man.
Well, I do have a Twitter account as linked right there, but I also have a YouTube channel, which I incidentally just pasted down in the chat section. And even though I have not really a regular uploader or commenter on a lot of these matters, I have on occasion uploaded some videos. I mean, recently I was uploading some videos for resyncing the English dialogue for Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Love the game overall, but the lip sync kind of needed work, so I was uploading videos that fixed that problem. And I have done some intros for movies for shown at my hometown's outdoor movie theater. So if you want to check those out, that's what my channel is for. So feel free to give it a watch. I mean, if you like it, great. If not, it's perfectly okay. I mean, we all have our tastes, and I'm not trying to sound like a sales guy here, but if you're interested, definitely give it a look.
Absolutely. And Skiz, I know you've got a couple different channels and stuff that you probably want to talk about a bit. So go ahead and let people know where they can find you.
Yeah, so I have a channel which is Unbound Gamer. I don't think there's a link in the description, but there is one in the chat.
There's one to Mama Mercy's channel.
And then my wife is also a streamer who is the normal person on the podcast all the time. Hers is down below. She does streaming of a bunch of Switch games. I do a lot of different types of content, from Let's Plays, live plays, and topical conversations.
All right. So, I think that basically that wraps it up for this one, guys. Obviously, thank you to all of the people who joined us today. Skiz, John, appreciate it. Jordan, you guys are all awesome. And make sure you guys check out their channels. Check out Mama Mercy. She'll probably be back next week. She'll probably be back on that one. And we're going to have a huge E3 podcast. So make sure you guys tune in for that one. Huge E3 podcast. Also, guys, just as another note, I will be on the Spawncast tonight. In about less than 3 hours, in about 2 hours, a little bit over 2 hours, I will be on the Spawncast. So make sure you guys check that out. Make sure you check out my video that I did for today as well. I did a video on like Pokemon Let's Go and some other stuff like that. So make sure you check that out. That's cool too. And if you want to watch the replay of PE Arena, go on the community page and you'll see the post up there. If you want to watch the replay of that, we played Mario Kart 8 and we also played Pokemon Tournament. If you want to see G5 destroy everyone with that cheap Mewtwo, then you can definitely go there and see that. And we are going to raid somebody. So get ready. Get your raiding hats ready. And let's go ahead and raid this man, Zyphos. I am linking his channel right there, guys. So make sure. Okay, hold up. Can you unban Steven for right now, guys? Unban him, please. So anyway, I'll have a talk with him later.
I just deleted a message. That's it.
Yeah. Just go ahead and unban him. I'll have a talk with him later. Steven, hit me up on Twitter, please. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. I do appreciate it. I put the link in the description below. Go ahead and hit up Zyphos and let him know that the PE fam, the ninja, sent him over there. He's a ninja himself. He's part of the village, so make sure you check out his channel. I want to thank everybody for coming out. Thank you for all the subscriptions. Also, one more subscription to get through, guys. Thank you. Before we go, shout outs to Koizumi X with the subscription as well. Thank you so much. I think we had about 10 subscriptions, 9 to 10 subscriptions for this podcast, which is
a really good podcast. It was really good.
Yeah, it was really good. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here. You guys are doing this out of the kindness of your heart, so thank you. And we will see you guys for the next week. And of course, hopefully the Smash podcast will be starting up next week too. If I can get everything situated by Wednesday, we'll have a Smash podcast during the week. So look forward to that. If you're into Smash, that should be fun as well. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys for the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.